This video will be on how to plot model space into paper space. Model space is always 1-to-1, so we draw everything to the exact size it's going to be. You can understand that that would not work very well if we were going to actually print that onto paper. So we have to know how we can reduce what we've drawn in model and put it into paper space so that we can share it with those that need the information. I've drawn this door in model space, so it's currently 1-to-1, so it is 36 inches wide for the door, and it's 6'8" high for the actual door itself, with also a header and some side columns. This is in my model space tab, and once I have that drawn now, I can go into one of the layout tabs that's located right next to the model. I've gone ahead and named the first tab, and I'm going to show you how I named it, because I like to keep track of what drawing I'm actually have in which particular layout. So if you right click, you can go up and hit rename. It will highlight what's on there, and I'm just going to go ahead and put door back in. Alright, so now that I'm on my door tab, I'm going to create the space so that I can actually see what's inside. Now right now, I have a viewport layer that I have set up. The viewport layer is set on a layer that will not plot. So no matter what I've drawn on that layer, it's not going to show up. And I like my viewport for most instances to be invisible. What's inside the viewport, however, is important. And right now we can see that I've got my door inside the viewport. Well, for me, scaling what's inside my viewport is very important. When I have my viewport highlighted as it is now, I can look down here in the bottom right area, and there's a little tiny arrow fly up menu in this case that allows me to choose a scale. I chose 3/4, but I could have chose 1, and you can see the door moved up, but now it's kind of going off the page a little bit, maybe not centered as much as I'd like. I can left click twice inside the viewport, activating the viewport, press down very slightly on my mouse, center that a little bit better, left click twice outside the viewport, and now it's locked. You can see it won't move on me. Now the other part that's really important is once I have this done, I need to make sure that I have put my text on there, because the text of what we're doing, it shows that you did it. It also shows what the scale is. And there are much more elaborate text box than what I'm going to show you here, but this is a very simple version. I can go into my annotate, and I have the option of a multi-line or single line text. I'm going to choose multi-line in this case. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer, and it should give me, there we go, it should give me the option to make a multi-line box. Now it really doesn't matter how big you make the box because you can always enlarge it, but I want to have an area that I can actually print in. Now I've changed my layer to my text layer, and now I can just go in and I can type my name, and I can type the scale. And remember, I just set it at 1 inch equals, and I always put it as 1 foot - 0 inches. I don't want there to be any confusion as to how big it is. Now you can adjust the text height, text style, etc. But this one really is just about plotting. So I've got my viewport, I've got my item, I have my name on it. Now I'm going to plot it. Well, first of all, I'm going to right click on my tab again. I'm going to go to my page setup manager. That's going to allow me to be able to tell the computer where I want to plot this. You can see it brings up a page setup manager box. I'm going to modify that. And I go in, and this is the first thing you have to do when you're going to name a plotter or printer. You've got to tell the computer where you're going to plot or print to. Now I chose the DWG to PDF because I know I want a PDF when I'm done. However, there are a lot of options that you can do. You could even plot it right away to print on your own personal computer if you want. But I want the DWG to PDF. Then the paper size, because I've told it how I'm going to plot, it's going to tell me which ones are available. So I'm going to choose the 8.5 by 11. And then you choose your pen weights. Now I created a small, but you could easily do monochrome or any of the other ones. And I'm going to do my small and hit OK, hit close. Then if I go in to do a print preview, which I highly recommend to anybody using this, I can zoom in and take a look at my pen weights, see if it's the height I want, the darkness I want. If everything looks good, I can right click and hit either exit or plot, and I'm going to hit plot in this case. It's going to send me to where I want to plot it. Now, for everybody, this is going to be different. You have to be your own librarian, if you will. I save a lot of stuff on a memory stick or USB port. So I have my USB port. I've set it up so that I can actually go into the classroom. I've got my door saved here. I can save it. I already did earlier, so I'm just going to hit yes. You can overwrite that. And if you make a mistake, you can overwrite it many times. Then it's going to bring me up and just a simple Adobe Reader to tell me what it looks like. If I'm feeling good about it, I don't have to do anything else. I can just X out of this, and I am ready and done with my plotting.